Welcome to this deep dive. Today we're looking at a source you sent us, Robin Sharma's Who Will Cry When You Die. It's just packed with ideas for living a more meaningful life.
It really is. It covers so much ground.
Yeah.
Like daily habits on one hand, and then these big sort of life philosophies on the other.
Exactly. And our mission here really is to pull out the key takeaways, the stuff you can actually put into practice.
Right. Things that can genuinely bring a bit more joy or maybe peace into your everyday life, starting now.
So let's dive right in.
Okay, so the book kicks off with this really powerful thought. Live so the world feels your loss.
Yeah.
But you find joy in living. It immediately makes you think, doesn't it?
It does. And, it highlights that paradox the book talks about. We're so hyper-connected, technologically speaking.
But disconnected personally.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's this lack of real human connection, maybe even purpose for some people.
Right. And I think the book offers a really helpful angle here. It suggests finding your calling isn't always some massive, dramatic career shift.
Okay.
It's more about consciously bringing more of your unique qualities into what you're already doing, focusing on your strengths.
That's actually quite freeing. It takes the pressure off needing this huge life overhaul. And it ties into that Gandhi quote the book uses, be the change you wish to see.
In your world. Yeah. It really puts the focus back on us, on our own actions.
Mm-hmm. Like live the change yourself instead of just waiting for the world to change around you.
Precisely. Which flows nicely into the next big idea.
Yeah.
The kind of surprising impact of small acts of kindness.
Oh yeah, that really hits home, especially when you think about Aldous Huxley's supposed last words. Let us be kinder to one another. So simple.
So simple, but so profound. And the book sort of gently pushes back against the idea that you need these grand, heroic gestures to make a difference.
Right. It's more about the accumulation of small things.
Exactly. Daily decency. It argues that's what really builds a fulfilling life.
Like making someone smile or paying the toll for the car behind you, offering a seat, little things.
Yeah, those everyday moments. They seem small, but the book suggests their cumulative effect is massive.
Oh.
And there's that story about the reader who started tithing.
Oh, right.
The lesson there seemed to be about the sincerity of giving, not expecting anything back immediately, just the act itself.
It shifts the focus from big achievements to just daily opportunities to be decent. Now, another thing the book covers, which I think we could all use, is maintaining perspective.
Oh, definitely. That story about the two guys in the hospital room,
Yeah.
that one sticks with
It
you.
really does. The one describing the world outside the window.
Only for the other guy to find out the window just faced a brick wall.
Oh, wow.
It just shows how much our mindset shapes everything.
Totally. And how easily we can sort of create our own reality based on assumptions. The key question the book poses is just brilliant. Is there a wiser, more enlightened way of looking at this situation?
It prompts you to actively try and reframe things, doesn't it? To choose a more constructive view.
And then bringing in Stephen Hawking,
Yeah.
that perspective shift.
Oh, yeah. Thinking about our tiny place in the universe, it really puts daily frustrations in their place. Kind of a cosmic reality check.
It does make you pause and think, how much does this really matter in the grand scheme? It's a reminder, too, of how short life is. Savor it.
Which, actually, connects well to the need for self-discipline. The book calls it tough love sometimes.
Sounds a bit harsh, maybe.
Well, yes, but the way it's framed is that it's actually a loving act towards your future self.
Oh.
Making harder choices now for a better outcome later.
Okay, I see. The book calls it the golden thread, right? Running through a well-lived life.
Exactly. And it links discipline to so many things: achieving goals, managing your time, having better relationships, even just perseverance when things get tough.
It's the difference between, like the book says, being a leaf floating downstream
versus actively rowing your boat.
Yeah.
Taking conscious control. And those quotes it includes are powerful too, about success being a habit, about just doing what needs doing.
Even when you don't feel like it. Thomas Henry Huxley, right? And Aristotle on learning by doing. It's all about taking ownership.
Absolutely. And speaking of taking action, journaling comes up as a major tool for growth.
Right. The book really champions it, not just as a diary, but something more.
Yeah, it calls it a one-on-one conversation with yourself, which feels really necessary today, doesn't it? With all the external noise.
It does. A space for actual deep thinking, getting clarity, self-awareness.
And it makes that useful distinction.
Yeah.
A diary is what happened. A journal is digging into why it happened, what you learned, analyzing it.
Going deeper than just the surface. And it even mentions medical research,
Yeah.
linking journaling to better health.
Yeah, improved immunity, better well-being.
Yeah.
It suggests that tending to your inner world has real, tangible benefits,
Mhm.
which ties into the next point, developing an honesty philosophy
This feels very relevant. The book talks about how often promises get broken, even small ones.
and the impact that has, right?
Yeah.
On trust in others, but also trust in yourself.
So what's the suggestion? The truth fast.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea, like consciously monitoring your honesty for a period, not just big lies, but, those little commitments you make to yourself and others. It's about building integrity.
Being someone whose word actually means something, dependable. And that, Mother Teresa, quote, fits perfectly actions, not just words.
It's about alignment,
Yeah.
doing what you say you'll do. Now, related to integrity is how we handle the past, honoring it without getting stuck.
Ah, yes. That's a delicate balance. The book warns about dwelling on regrets, how it steals energy from the future.
Definitely. But it's not about ignoring the past. It's about learning from it. Framing mistakes not as failures, but as tuition fees for wisdom.
Like Euripides said, finding opportunity in misfortune, extracting the lesson.
Right. And reframing failures is just signs you've actually lived, you've taken chances. The book has those quotes about boldness and Booker T. Washington on measuring success by obstacles overcome.
It encourages resilience, taking the wisdom moving forward. Okay, so shifting gears a bit, starting the day right, the Platinum 30.
Yes. The first 30 minutes after waking up, the book argues they have this huge influence on the rest of your day. Sets the tone.
It uses that Everest analogy, right? Needing a good base camp.
Yeah, for renewal.
Yeah.
That first half hour is your personal base camp. Time to recharge before the climb of the day.
And it gives practical ideas like a walk, some quiet time, reading something inspiring.
Mentions people like Marcus Aurelius, Ben Franklin, Thoreau. Sources of wisdom literature. It's about consciously setting your intention for the day.
Before the world rushes in,
Hmm.
which leads to another skill, saying no gracefully.
Oh, that's a big one. Easier said than done, for sure.
Definitely. The book connects it to priorities. If yours aren't clear, other people's priorities tend to fill your schedule. That line about scheduling your
Like
priorities.
someone else will. Yeah, it's so true. And that story of the old sword maker.
The 90-year-old who focused only on making swords.
Exactly. His mastery came from that intense concentration on the essential, cutting out the noise.
So it's about identifying your own sort of areas of excellence, as the book calls them.
Pretty much. And channeling your energy there, learning to politely decline the rest. Like Michael Jordan focusing on basketball, not baseball, ultimately. Or Louis Armstrong and his trumpet.
Focus on your core strengths. Protect your time and energy for what really matters. Okay, and the final principle we wanted to touch on, the weekly sabbatical.
Yeah, drawing on that ancient idea of a Sabbath. A regular time out for reflection, for renewal.
Which feels almost countercultural now, but the book argues it's essential. Modern life doesn't really give us enough relief from stress.
Right, and the benefits are clear. Less stress, boosted creativity, more happiness. It doesn't have to be a whole day either. Just a dedicated period each week.
And the ideas are simple. Go to a bookstore, watch a sunrise, walk alone, journal.
Just intentionally creating that space for yourself. That Thoreau quote fits well here about marching to your own drummer. It's about honoring your own need for that pause.
It's a reminder that stepping back can actually help you move forward with more clarity.
Definitely.
So wrapping up this deep dive, we've only touched on some of the principles from Who Will Cry When You Die, but hopefully it's given you some food for thought.
Yeah, maybe take a moment, think about which of these ideas kind of clicks with where you are right now. Perhaps pick one, just one or two, to try out this week.
And maybe think about this, sort of a final thought. What was that song you meant to sing? You know, the one the book mentions being on the fridge? That passion or purpose you haven't quite let out yet? Maybe you could start humming it. Or, even start singing it out loud, starting today.